You know what time it is? It's time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. Of course, I'm your host, Coop. Big shout outs to you that's listening to this episode right now on whatever major streaming platform that you're on right now. Also, if you want to catch the video version of this show, you can in so many different ways. You can go to youtube.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you don't miss one episode of the Big Scoop with Coop. Also, make sure you check out the website, thebigscoopwithcoop.com, where you can catch episodes from season 1 all the way up to now. Also, if you're a social media person, that's right, you can find these shows on social media. Facebook.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. On Instagram at Big Scoop with Coop. And that's right, I'm on TikTok. I am on TikTok, people. Just look up The Big Scoop with Coop. And I guarantee you will not miss one episode of The Big Scoop with Coop. All right, people. Enough about me. Today's guest, she is killing it in front of the cameras. You actually will see her on Chief of War. That's out now on Apple TV. Make sure you go watch that show. That's a show you do not want to miss. She plays the wife of Jason Momoa. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the one and only Hinepehinga. You can call her T. She's going to come on the show. She's going to talk about her career, talk about the show Chief of War, the things she has going on that she's got planned, and more. So sit back and relax and enjoy this episode of the Big Scoop with Coop with T. Welcome back to the Big Scoop with Coop. Of course, I'm your host, Coop. I told you I have the woman right here in the building. You've seen all over Chief of War. She's doing a thing big time on Apple TV. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the one and only T.I.O. Hinepehinga, or you can call her T. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. What an introduction. I love it. I love the energy. I'm already here. I feel alive.
Yes. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good. I mean, whereabouts are you?
I'm in North Carolina.
Aotearoa. Okay, so what time is it there? I just started my day.
Wow. Okay, I'm about to end my day. It's 6:32 in the evening.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the tequila would have been much more appropriate for you. I don't think tequila for breakfast is probably allowed. I'm an adult. The rules.
There's a saying in the United States. It's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. So you can.
My mother has that as a sign over her bar. So she has a little like bar situ. It's not a proper bar, but she has a little bar situ, and she literally has a giant sign that says it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
See, that's what I'm talking about. T, I'm loving it. I'm definitely loving it. Now, T, I'm gonna let you know once again, you're doing your thing on Chief of War. I mean, you're really killing it. It's lovely. Apple TV fans are loving the show. People are loving and wanting to watch this. I've actually talked to a few people, and they're pissed they don't have Apple TV because they want to see this. So I'm just letting you know right now. Yes, it's doing its thing. Now, T.
That's amazing to hear.
Yes. Now, T, for the people that's getting introduced to you for the first time, when did you first realize that you wanted to get into the entertainment industry?
See, I'm so crap with ages, but I think I was about 14, 15. So I'd never done acting before, never did drama class. We didn't have drama class at my school because I was and I was in a very rural, traditional Māori kind of community. And then, yeah, I think we got a drama teacher randomly. I got dragged into it because I personally preferred hanging out in the library. I like books more than people, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I got dragged along and thrown in the mix. And I don't know, it was just one of those things where I think, I don't know, you're 15, you're awkward, you don't really know what to do with your voice. And suddenly it was just like, no judgment, because it's not your voice. It's somebody else's words. It's somebody else's personality. And that was so liberating for me to be able to like step out of myself and get comfortable with somebody else's story and somebody else's voice, and being able to share all of these puberty emotions in some way or shape or form that wasn't going to piss off my parents. After that, I was hooked. I was like, oh, you know what? Screw it. I went home and I was like, Mum, I want to be an actor. And she went, all right, bub, let's go.
Just that simple.
That simple. I mean, she's always wanted, so she dreamt of being a break dancer. She wanted to be a professional dancer. She was one of the best female break dancers in the late 90s in New Zealand. Um, yeah, she was a hardcore B girl. And so she'd always dreamed of being a dancer, but my family, like any family who wants the best for their kids, were just kind of like, that's not the most sustainable career. I don't know about that. And so she went to university instead. So I guess I remember her telling me later on down the line, she went, when you came home and wanted to be an actor, I saw myself in that moment and I went, I'm going to support this dream in the way that I wish I had been supported in my dream. And I don't think either of us really thought it would work out. We were both pretty realistic. What's the chances of this random little Maori girl from the middle of nowhere making it as an actor? So we're both pretty damn surprised I'm here.
Man, T, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I would have met your mom, I would have hyped her up every single time I saw her. We could have been in the grocery store, in the school. I'm like, pop it, please pop it. Just do it one time. Let me just do it one time. I would have hyped her
You'd
up.
love her. She would totally do it. That woman has no shame. She doesn't care where she's at. She could be in the middle of a corner store or in the hospital. If a good tune plays, she'll be like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I see you get this from your mom. I like this.
Oh yeah.
I definitely
Oh, yeah.
like this. That's what I'm talking about. Now, T, when you went on and you started doing acting and everything, did you have any mentors to help you out throughout your career, even up to today?
Mentors, in terms of my acting career, I've had lots of different people come into my life who have been incredible just to learn from. My most recent is this incredible man called Michael Sasente, who is an acting coach based in my agency. And every time I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, I have questions, I'll call him up and he'll talk it through with me. He's my lifeline when I feel lost as an actor, and I absolutely love him for that because I'll text him randomly. He could be in a different country in a different time zone, and he'll still go, "I got you. I've got you, bub. What do you want to talk about?" So he's probably a big support person for me as an actor. But in terms of like just personal life, my mum is
All
my
around.
best friend. Yeah, my mum is the first person I call for everything. I've got a toe infected from a scab. Hey, mum, I've got an acting. I remember when I got Chief of War, I called her and I was just like, "Hey, ma, so there's this show," and I could because obviously the NDA couldn't say anything, and I was just like, "There's this show, and it's a pūrākau. It's an indigenous story from Polynesia, and they're wanting Maori to be a part of it, but it's not a Maori story. I don't know how to feel. I'm very confused. Like, is this okay? Is this kind of stepping into a dangerous place or space for our indigenous people?" And she was there every step of the way. She was calling me, texting me after every audition, going, "Okay, bub, what have you learned?" And so she was kind of she's been my sounding board in my entire career because it's really, like I said, I'm a book nerd. I prefer the library. I'm not used to attention or demanding attention or being in front of cameras or in front of an audience. And so she's kind of become this person I go to sound things out and figure out, is this just my fear talking, or is this a legitimate thing that we need to be discussing? So she's my greatest advocate. She's my other half. She's my favorite drinking buddy. And she's literally like the cornerstone of my career. I honestly wouldn't have done this without her. I would have given up years ago.
Wow.
I'll be real. I would have given up years ago if it wasn't for her. She talked me off that ledge, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times.
Nah, she breakdanced you off that ledge. That's what I'm talking about. That's what she did.
Yeah, she was
said
head spinning me in the other direction.
Yep, she moonwalked you back. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm glad she did it because you fit perfectly in this. And I'm glad that you even just brought that up about your mom because first and foremost, I want to say it once again. Congratulations once again on Chief of War. So I got to keep bringing it up because once again, you don't know, you probably do know, but this is a big leap in your career where it can take you so many places because now you actually have a global presence that's all over. So I wonder if you even recognize
That's not terrifying.
See, it is terrifying, but guess what? You got to carry it on your back, and you're doing real well with it. You really are.
Thank
Now,
you.
speaking of that, and you kind of dove into it a little bit, what drew you to this story? And was it part of your personality that said, "Hey, this I fit this role. I believe I can do this." What brought you to Chief of War?
Well, I mean, I love acting, and I'm very much aware that acting is not an easy profession to pursue. So every opportunity I get to put myself forward, I'm always 100% in because I'm just like any job is a blessing. To be able to tell stories for a living is a blessing. And so I remember when I got this, I went, "Oh, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do this?" And so I'm calling mum, going, "Am I allowed to do this?" Calling my nan, "Am I allowed?" Talking to Thomas Paasaba, I'm like, "Are you sure I'm allowed to do this?" And I remember he said I remember we were talking about it, and I kind of went, "Actually, I'm realizing now it is not my right, nor is it my responsibility to be telling anyone how to tell their stories. But as an Indigenous person who understands the Indigenous experience, I want to be able to support whatever you guys are doing in any way." And that goes beyond just Hawaii. I think any Indigenous community, I'm like, "You want support? I'm here. I got you. We're all on the same boat." And so that was, as soon as I realized that, I think I will take anything. I don't care. I will be the coffee runner. I will drive actors. I just want to be able to support this project in every way I possibly can. But what was funny is because originally I was auditioning, and I think what they had done is they were auditioning from the same characters. So we were all auditioning for Ka'ahumanu. And I kept getting called back for Ka'ahumanu. But when I first got the audition, I was lucky enough to get the script for EP1, I think, and possibly EP2. And I think page 6 or 7 is when you met Kupohi in the original script. And as soon as I read her, I went, "Who are you? What? Who are you?" I don't know what it was. And it was simple. She only had very simple scenes just introducing herself. But it was in the big print, just saying Kupohi, Kaiana's wife, stands by his side. And there was just this like moment of, I don't know, like this, my spirit just went, "There you are. Hi." And I kept that in my mind every time we were going back for to audition for a recall for Ka'ahumanu. I was just like, "But Kupohi, who is Kupohi?" I think I even asked in one of my callbacks, "Who's playing Kupohi? How old is she?" Because obviously she plays Kaiana's wife, and I think Jay is what, 44? Sorry, bro, I don't even remember how old you are, but he's older than me. He's older than me for sure. So I was like, "This isn't gonna work. That would never work." Um, but and then when I got the call saying, "Hey, we actually," I think it was Pa'a called me, Thomas Pa'a called me, and he said, "Hey, so in your last recall for Ka'ahumanu, Jason was actually there, and he thinks you should play his wife. He wants you to play his wife. He thinks there's something there." And it was after, way down the line, after we started working together, that he said, "Do you want to know the story of how I actually cast you?" And I went, "Actually, yeah, I'm a little bit curious." And he goes, "Well, there was you were on Zoom doing the recalls, because I'm here in Aotearoa and everyone's in LA. And he was behind a blank screen. So I didn't know he was there. And he said Justin started asking me questions about my background. And so I inevitably start talking about my family and, of course, my mother, because she's kind of my other half. And he said there was something in my eyes when I spoke about my mum that made him go, "That's my wife." And I went, "Whoa, really?" And so I called mum and I'm like, "Mum, guess what? You got me this job." And it just feels so perfect because, like you said, this job is kind of a big turning point in my career.
Mhm.
And so for me, having my mum being my biggest advocate, my mum being the reason that I was still had the confidence to keep pursuing this career, for her, talking about her to be the reason that I get my big break, I'm like, that's the Atua. That's the universe putting some energy out there and seeing what we're laying down and going, all right, you're ready, bub.
Wow. Wow. Now that's,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen that's watching worldwide right now, I'm hoping you're digging into this because you see, you heard what T just said. She talked about her mom and it sparked them and said, hey, that's her. So I'm telling you, people out there that's listening worldwide right now, I don't care what position you're trying to do in life. I don't care if you're trying to be the best plumber or even the best actor or actress. You can do it. If you put your heart and soul into it, you see what happened to T.
Absolutely.
This can happen to you too. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. The only limitations there are in the world are the limitations you put on yourself.
I ain't had to say it. T just said it. I ain't had to say nothing. You heard her. That's what I'm talking about. Now, T, on set, have you ran into any situation right now that gave you chills? Like you was like, this feels too real during the shooting of this
Oh,
show.
I think I keep bringing this up, but it is and I've never actually been able to say it out loud, but there in the last episode of this show, there is a whole sequence of events that happen that is historically accurate. And the event itself is historically accurate. What happens, what we do in the show might not be. But it takes place during the eruption of Mauna Loa,
Hmm.
I believe, or potentially Mauna Kea. I could be getting that wrong. But one of the major volcanoes actually erupts in this historical moment that we were filming. And the day before we start filming, it erupts. For the first time in 75 years, that volcano erupted. And I just went, like, I was standing next to Ha'a Keolana, who's the daughter of Brian Keolana, one of our producers, who's become a very good friend of mine, and she's Kanaka Maoli. And I turned to her and I went, sis, what is going on? And she went, Pele heard the call. Pele is here. She has said, if you're going to tell my story, I'm ready for my close-up. And it was just one of those moments that you went, the Akua are listening. The ancestors are hearing us and watching us tell this story. We better not fuck it up.
Wow. That's deep, T. Because you couldn't plan that.
No,
There's no
there was
way.
no there was no way. There was no way of anticipating. It hadn't erupted in 75 years. And I think I remember, was it the week before we were supposed to go to Big Island to film this? That was when the seismologists, is that the name of the people who look after volcanoes? Those people, the
Yes,
experts.
yes, yeah.
Aroha mai, sorry to the people who do that. I respect your work. I just don't remember the name. Sorry.
I second that.
Um, but they had made an announcement saying, hey, there's seismic activity. And so our production went, ooh, hold on, that's a safety risk. That might not be a thing. And it's only because of Jason and Pa wanting to keep the authenticity of this moment that we were filming, because it is a very significant moment in history. And they wanted to make sure it was filmed on the Aina, on our whenua, on the land, so that it would be able to honor that moment. And so they fought like crazy to allow for us to be able to actually continue filming it on the location. And then poor production is sitting there going, I hear you, I understand you, I respect you, but this is dangerous for everyone. And so it was this weird balance. And we had, because of that warning, we had everything in place to be able to manage if that was to actually happen. And then lo and behold, literally the whole production lands on Big Island. We all check into our hotels. And I think it was 11 o'clock that night, which is the day before we're supposed to start prepping on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Pele erupts. Pele goes, you're here, so am I. And it was just like, it was like, what what a true testament to how powerful it is to tell Indigenous stories and to do it authentically, to do it with nothing but love and respect for the story itself and for the history of these people. And I was Kaumaka Eva, who's one of the main voices and a big part of the musical direction of the show, or musical composition of the show.
Mhm.
She is actually a direct descendant of Pele. So she's from the Ali'i line. And so she came on set the next day and she did a pule and an oli, a prayer practice ceremony,
Mhm.
and kind of just went, this is the ancestors saying, I see you. And I'm here to be present and to make sure, to protect this mana of what you're trying to do. And we were completely safe. The wind blew in the exact direction it needed to for us to be able to film where we were filming. It all aligned, and you couldn't just help but think, regardless of what you believe in, the energy of the world is here, whether you
Yes.
choose to believe it or not.
Yes.
Whatever name you choose to call it, ke a koe hoki, that's all good.
Yeah.
But they're here and they're listening. And when you do it right and when you walk the path, they will show you. And that's what that was for me personally. I was just like, oh, the ancestors have got us.
Mm. This is deep, T.
It
This.
was deep. The show is
Oh
deep.
man.
There's layers to it that I think you can't even, layers to the experience of it that we couldn't even capture. It's such a beautiful testament to what happens when you give control to our Indigenous people of the world and allow
Mhm.
them to walk forward with that. And we just create this beautiful thing. Like, look at Chief of War.
That's what I'm saying.
It's an Indigenous story, but it is felt globally, regardless of your background, regardless of where you call home. And
Yes.
I think that's the true power of Indigenous storytelling, of storytelling in general.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you see, and I'm glad you kind of brought it up because I'm gonna backtrack on something that I asked you earlier, and I'm gonna ask you again in a different way though. You get the answer perfectly, but I want to ask you for a person of your role and the things you have experienced already in your career. I told you you have a global platform that you're on right now. People worldwide are learning who you are, and the people that know you already saying, "I know T." How does that feel to carry that on your back? That's a lot of weight. A lot of people is recognizing you. You're known globally, not just a section, not just the United States, globally. How does that feel?
It's terrifying. I'll be honest. I like you, and I'm also a completely honest person. I have never wanted this platform. I when I chose to pursue acting, my goal was always to be unknown but working always, because I think growing up with magazines and then seeing social media and what it does, it's terrifying, the
Mhm.
responsibility that comes with success when you work in entertainment,
Mhm.
the responsibility that you bear because you become a role model to people that you'll never know, you'll never see. And I just kind of went, how, as somebody who has grown up with incredible leaders in her life, I am acutely aware of what happens when leadership strays from its purpose or leadership makes mistakes, because we all make mistakes. We're all human.
Yes.
And I just kind of went, I don't know if I have the strength to be able to withstand my mistakes when people get upset. I'm too soft. I know I play Kupohi and she's a badass, but my family will tell you I'm a marshmallow. I am the softest person. I literally, when I was training my puppy, I would cry because I was supposed to do something that would keep us have a healthy social relationship. And I'd be crying because I'm just like, he wants love. I need to give him love. And people are like, no, you have to do this because it's right. It's how you teach them a healthy boundaries. Like I'm a big softie. So
Wow.
the idea that my personal opinions or belief might cause anyone harm or hurt is the most terrifying thing. And so now I'm kind of walking in this space going, oh gosh, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want people to feel unheard or unseen. What can I say that won't piss people off?
T, I'm going to give you a piece of advice right now, live, people watching worldwide. T, there's nothing in this world, there's no way to satisfy every single person in this world. I'm letting you know right now. You can't do it. You're not God. I'm not God, whoever you believe in. Leave that job to the higher ups. You speak your truth and you keep going with your truth, T, because you're blossoming in front of everybody right now. Everybody's not going to like you, but majority of the people is going to love you. I'm letting you know this right now. I already know this. I see it. You keep doing your thing, T, and I promise you, you will stop walking on eggshells. You're going to be like, hey, I'm me. You like it or not. You're going to watch me on your television and you're going to smile and you're going to like it. That's what you end up saying real soon. So just get ready for that. I'm telling you, T.
I appreciate it. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that. I might quote you one day.
Do it. Now, T, let me ask you this. Are there any other projects that you're working on that you want the world to know about?
Well, so I just did an acting project, but it's here in Aotearoa, so I don't think many people will be able to watch it. However, I'm also working on something a little different, a little not actory. So I'm not sure if you've heard this, but outside of acting, my family do a lot of they work in the social development space. And so that's a big part of my upbringing and a big part of the kind of work I enjoy doing. So when I'm not acting, I do like to find ways to work within my community and support my community. And so at the moment, I'm scheming.
Okay.
I'm working towards trying to implement filmmaking in schools as kind of so we have this thing called the 48-hour film festival here in Aotearoa, and basically from anywhere in the world you get the brief. You have 48 hours to create a short film or content, short form content that will then be entered into a competition, and you display it, you publicize it, you share it. I love that. And I think our youth, our rangatahi, are now at this point where that's so normal. People, like kids, are creating TikToks that are better than some of the TV shows I grew up with. Yep. It's incredible. And I love that. I'm so obsessed with this idea of utilizing that, taking that knowledge and that brilliant creativity in our youth and putting it into schools so that they can kind of train those skills and stretch those skills to their limits and see where their potential lies. Because I think regardless of whether or not you want to be an actor or a writer or a stunt person or a camera person or a director, or if you want to be a doctor, I think creativity is a necessary part of human development. It forces us to learn, see things in a different way. It forces us to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. It stretches the brain. I mean, it was Einstein who talks about how creativity was the foundation of his ability to test science and work and push boundaries in that space. So I think creativity is a necessary part of young development. And I know we want to focus on science, math, and English, and that's so important. I get it. But I think creativity is just as important to building a good human. It might not be education, but human, on a human level. So at the moment, I'm working on a proposal to hopefully implement more creativity in our education system here in Aotearoa and eventually globally, because I like to think big, and my mother is always talking about world domination. And so, I think at the moment, that's my focus, is empowering young people to use this new medium that they love so much in a way that benefits everyone, but also gives them the confidence to think, walk creatively and challenge narratives and challenge belief systems, because we're at this turning point now. Technology is caught up and our youth know how to play with it, and the rest of us are going, I don't know about this.
That's what I'm talking about, T, because you see, a lot of people, like you said, they think about the math and the sciences, but creativity actually exercises your brain even more because it makes you think twice as hard. What do I do from step 1 to step 2 to make this look like a perfect piece of a puzzle? So I get it. I get what you're doing. Do it. Run with it. Run fast with it. Run like Forrest Gump with it. That's what I want you to do. That's
come find me in my Instagram message request if you want to come be a part of it. We're creating a global movement of creativity here, Whānau.
And see, I'm glad you just brought it up because that was my next question. What is the best way for everyone to follow you on social media to keep up with you with the latest and greatest?
I'm pretty crap at social media. I'll be real honest. I don't know. I just don't do it very often. I'm too busy with life, I guess. But when I do post, I'm on Instagram. You can get me on Teeno Coffee, Teeno Coffee, or nobody's found it yet. If you want to be entertained by the true tea and not just kupuahi, you can find me on TikTok. Same handle.
Oh, nice. Ladies and gentlemen watching worldwide, make sure you follow T. You never know what she's going to post. She said she's too busy lifing, but you never know. She may take a 30-second break from life. Get on social media.
If you guys want to hang out with me and while I'm cooking and baking, holler at. I'll do it. I'll jump on a live. I might not be the most conversational, but you might learn a few things about how you can get experimental in the kitchen. That's
what I'm talking about. And ladies and gentlemen worldwide, you stop fronting. All of you don't know how to cook. And you know you don't. You better follow T. Learn how to cook something. I'm telling you, she'll teach you how to do it. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. She may not talk much, but she'll be like, this how much salt you put in this. Not a sprinkle. Do 2-3 shakes. You never know what she's going to do. So make sure you follow her on social media. Keep up with her on Chief of War. You never know when this film festival is going to drop, the things that she's doing. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last segment of the show. This is the part that T do not like, but guess what? We're about to do it anyway. And it's called Take the Floor. T, you have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want. No questions asked. T, take the floor.
Okay, well, first of all, to all my whānau who got freaked out by Chief of War because it was all in Olelo Hawaii, rest assured, watch till Ep 3. We do introduce English. Be patient with us, but also challenge yourself. Olelo Hawaii is such a beautiful, beautiful language, and all you have to do is sit and embrace it, and I promise you'll fall in love with it just like the rest of us. And also, to my whānau who don't agree with kupuahi's choices, I agree. 1 year was a long time. It was not a long enough time. I don't know about you, but I definitely wouldn't have been able to move on. But hey, not my story, Kanaka's story. And you know what? Thomas Pa'asabit has done a beautiful job of telling this story alongside Jason. So bear with. Honestly, I'm still wondering what she's up to. Okay, that's all I've got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, first time in 12 seasons, she just ranted. It got everything out those her mind. That's what she did. You picked up the gems through the interview. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, follow her on social media. Check out Chief of War. That's right. You heard her. Be patient. It's going to get to English. Just be patient. Enjoy the ride. That's all you have to do. Enjoy the ride. You're going to love this show. Go tell your mother, tell your father, tell your family, tell your friends. You know what? Tell your haters. Tell all of them, watch the show. It's something you don't want to miss. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, Tia, I enjoyed you being on the show, and I would love to have you back on in the future.
Oh, yes, please. Let's do this again. This time I will bring tequila. I expect you to bring your drink of choice as well.
You have to tell me twice. That's what I'm talking about. Once again, everybody, make sure you follow T. Keep up with the latest and greatest that she's doing. All right, people, the next episode of the Big Scoop with Coop, my next guest is... that's my next guest. You better follow me on social media at the Big Scoop with Coop to keep up with who's coming up next and the latest and greatest. And until the next time, people, on the Big Scoop with Coop. Peace.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper.